Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber HeckPup, I have taken on a brew challenge to make a Gyruda Doom of Depths and Primeval Titan work together. One of the big prompts for this deck becoming an idea in HeckPup's mind was Leyline of the Guildpact printing. This is a even mana costed way to make all your lands into mountains for Valakut. Primeval Titan, of course, if we've seen Amulet Titan or any Valakut deck in history, going all the way back to when these cards were legal and standard, Primeval Titan's good at getting two Valakuts, or Valakut and some mountains, and then lighting up your opponent's face. Gyruda is potentially redundant copies of Primeval Titan. You get more of those, plus a bonus 6/6 for your trouble. And then we got to figure out what else happens with the deck. Turns out, Leyline of the Guildpact already has some decks built around it, and the core of those decks are two even mana value creatures, Scion of Draco and Territorial Kavu. The Domain Zoo mana base largely applies to this deck. I actually took a Indomitable Creativity mana base because those mana bases are built to be full of mountains and also support Leyline binding. I added a breeding pool so we can get untapped domain on turn 2. This is the only non-mountain in the deck, but I think it is worthwhile to have it. Sevi Triome plus breeding pool, cast Territorial Kavu, cast Wrenn and 6, cast all your spells, basically, and gives you domain on turn 2. I think that button is important to be able to push, even if it's not a mountain. Wrenn and 6 keeps the land drops coming. This is a card I thought about quite a bit because we're not actually that good of a Wrenn and 6 deck. Hitting all your land drops, picking off 1-drops are good enough, I think, even though the only spell we can emblem is Fire Ice, if we get there. But hopefully that's not what our deck's really about. Because this deck has to be creature heavy, so Gyruda is likely to hit. And that gives us Orcish Bowmaster and Omnath to round out the cards in the deck. Omnath needs no introduction. We're playing a 5-color mana base anyway. We're playing Wrenn and 6. We got fetch lands. Primeval Titan triggers Omnath. All good things. And Orcish Bowmaster, I was looking for a 2-drop that could also kill a creature on enters the battlefield. I thought about this slot a lot. I had like Journey to Nowhere in here. I had Lava Coil in here, Incinerate. I was thinking about how can I do something and interact on 2 mana. And then we had to solve the puzzle of also keeping creature density heavy for Gyruda. And, you know, it's not sexy, but here's Orcish Bowmaster. I'm kind of excited about this deck. Every time I get sent a Brew Challenge, I have obviously that moment of reality. It's not really fear. It's just kind of reality of like, oh, what if this doesn't work? What if I put this to paper and it looks like a disaster? This doesn't actually look like a disaster. This looks like 3 different coherent decks that all dovetail nicely together, actually. And I'm pretty excited to play it. Let's jump in. This is HeckPup's Gyruda Valakut. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play for round 1. I'm going to keep this hand. It doesn't interact for a while, but it's got the top end on lock. Revealed my Gyruda. It's kind of fun that this is a relatively fair Gyruda deck. There's no clones. There's nothing. We're not actually using Gyruda to do anything except find Primeval Titan. And there's not a Temple Garden in the deck. Breeding Pool's in my hand. If I play Xander's Lounge now, I'm actually just going to do that. If I play Xander's Lounge now, it means I won't be able to cast Leyline Binding if I draw it. I guess I could fetch a Sacred Foundry and pay 2. Yeah, all right, we're fine. And if I draw a Kavu, it's a 4/4, that's fine. All right, drew Sevi Triome. Now Domain is on lock. Just have to play this Breeding Pool and we're in there. Opponent milled away a 1-ring with their Commercial District. This could be the Gruul Seismic Assault deck that's been kicking around. There's a Kavu, right on time. Oh, I don't have a green source yet. That's right. That's how this works. Shotgun Breeding Pool. Green-red. Territorial Kavu. Slightly late to the party, but still a big O. And if they spend removal on this, then we get Omnath, and then we start jamming 6s. They milled away a Farseek with their Commercial District. Am I going to get my Seismic Assault? Oh no. Okay. Oh no, it's a Valakut Mirror. Fire Ice. Is this a card I care about? Probably not. I'm going to attack my opponent, and I could loot away one of my lands, or I could exile the Wooded Foothills from their graveyard. And if this is the Loam Seismic Assault deck, I'm kind of interested in doing that. I could just lose to Primeval Titan next turn. I could play around that by icing one of their lands in their upkeep. Or I could just play Omnath now, which sets up my own prime time for next turn. A blue, white, green. I just need any land in my deck for red here. And I have blue, black already. They cast Gyruda. All my lands cast Gyruda. I don't have to think about that. I don't have green, green to cast Primeval Titan yet. Okay, I'll get a Stomping Ground. Red, green, white, blue. All right. Gyruda's on the stack. If their hand is land, Primeval Titan, we are in trouble here. But I'm swinging for the fences. They bend a Wish. Wish is scary. My deck's not allowed to play Dryad of the Elysian Grove, unfortunately. 1 ring's in. It's not a prime time, I'll take it. Also, the construction of their deck, almost certainly a Primeval Titan deck. Gyruda can hit both graveyards. I got that going for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could have 5 mountains in play. I think you need 6, right? If you control at least 5 other mountains, yeah. So the 6th mountain triggers Valakut. I can just play prime times here. I could even attack and loot and then cast a prime time. Do I think Fire Ice is going to be useful? I get 4 mana off this, so I can actually ice them on their turn. And they missed their last land drop. Okay. I'm going to gain 4 life, fetch, make 4 mana. I could even get Jetmir's Garden and still ice them. 4, 5, 6. Yes, that does work. Okay. Guess what time it is? Prime time. I would like to use the ability. And I have another prime time locked up, a mountain in my hand. If I get Valakut and 1 mountain here. Oh, right. This also triggers Omnath, or at least it would if they didn't have protection from everything. Territorial Kavu might as well attack. I'm not going to loot. I'm going to exile a card from their graveyard. Take out Wooded Foothills. If they're counting on life from the Loam, I want to try to deny that. And I'm going to ice in their upkeep one of their lands. And hopefully they die next turn. Okay, here we go. 1 ring, drew 2 cards. Moment of Truth. Land, Scape Shift is that enough? Yeah, I think it is. Bummer. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, pretty powerful. Yep. All right, they're going to get away with it. Just barely. But, I mean, we did the thing. If they didn't have the 1 ring, they actually would have been dead on board and had to jump with Dryad last turn. So, interesting. Okay, you got me. For this matchup, Force of Vigor and Tear Asunder both kill Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which is the construction advantage they have over me. That is the best card in these sort of decks, and I don't get to play odd cost cards. I think Wrenn and 6 actually is kind of mid here. This matchup is not about nickels and dimes. We saw the 1 ring where Bowmaster could shine, but outside of the 1 ring, Bowmaster doesn't matter. I'm looking at Fire Ice or Bowmaster as cuts, and I think it's the Bowmaster. Going in. Revealed Gyruda. I have a Leyline. There's multiple pregame actions here. And I do have the turn 2 5/5, which would have been a big deal last game. It didn't show up till turn 3. And then they barely stabilized by 1 turn. World Soul's Rage. Deals X damage to any target. Put X land cards from your hand and or graveyard onto the battlefield tab. That card's cool. A Wooded Foothills and cast this Kavu, keeping my fetch lands in play because they're very good with Valakut. if they are also mountains. Sakura Tribe Elder, you got it. I think I want a 1/1 with Fire Ice just to push this damage. Fire, 1 and 1. Yeah, this is 6 damage this turn instead of 0, even though it doesn't actually kill the Tribe Elder. And I think I loot away the other Fire Ice. You just kind of want lands. I'd love to draw a Scion and start gaining life. That's actually huge in this matchup. 1 rings here. Multiple prime times in hand. I'm going to loot one of them away. On that land again, and I'm going to put Gyruda in hand. Okay, they've got a 1 ring pump in. Despite my good start, I haven't actually followed it up with anything. A lot of 6-drops in this deck. I did consider the 1 ring for the deck too, but wanted to use my flex slots on creatures. The deck might be better with 1 ring, but I was trying to make Gyruda connect more often. They milled away a Dryad. That's scary because that card's really good. Okay, they're just treading water through 1 rings now. I have 6 lands, but the fetch lands are really good if I get Valakuts into play. I'm just going to keep holding on to them instead of fetching. Jetmir's Garden I can cycle. They don't have any lands in their graveyard, so I don't care about exiling them. I'm going to cycle Jetmir's Garden the hard way. Wrenn and 6, okay. I like that. Red-green, Wrenn and 6. Plus, pick up Jetmir's Garden. Now Territorial Kavu can loot that away. It's like cycling it, except free. Leyline Binding, that's a useful card if I untap again. Opponents saw me discard a primetime. They have to assume they're smoked if they don't win the game this turn somehow. They could go Dryad, Landscape Shift, and that's enough. Looks like it's happening. Dwarven Mine, okay. Do we have a Archon of Cruelty pivot? I'd rather see Archon of Cruelty than Scape Shift, and it's not even close. Another One Ring, alright. I'm going to untap again, everybody. Good news. And then Leyline Binding gets to do stuff, maybe. Ooh, a Valakut right from the hand. Valakut, deal 3 to Dryad, then Wrenn and 6 finish it off. That's nice. And I can attack loot away Scalding Tarn, but I kind of want to play a land next turn. Okay, I'm just going to... Or I have freaking Wrenn and 6. Alright, never mind. I missed a loot here. Hopefully that doesn't punish me. This deck can also just Valakut for natural mountains if they have enough lands. My life total's 20 because I haven't fetched it all, which means they would need 6 mountains plus Valakut to deal 18, 7 mountains, which means you need 8 lands in play, which is exactly what they have. Oh no! Alright, well, I don't have the ability to gain life, and they have exactly enough here, and this wish can be whatever they want it to be. I assume it's going to be Escape Shift for lethal. Okay, here we go. Yeah, falling 1 short after they 1-ringed 3 turns in a row. Okay. And my deck is kind of a convoluted version of their deck, and it makes sense that they would be structurally better off than me in this environment, where we're doing the same thing, but they're doing it more reliably. But it came down to 1 turn both times, and I think that's pretty cool. Oh, okay, they can also get 2 Valakuts and 6 mountains. Right, that's what they did. That's way more damage. Alright, cool. Barely lost to the more focused version of the deck. I'll take it. On to the next round. Introducing Club GG, the mobile platform that lets you create your own poker clubs and play with your friends anywhere. Creating your own club is easy. Just download the app, set up your club, and invite your friends. But that's not all. With a Club GG membership from just $9.99 per month, you can win prizes weekly with over $200,000 in prizes being awarded each month. You could win millions just by playing on Club GG, so what are you waiting for? Download Club GG today and start playing with your friends. Subscribe using code BOSH for a free 7-day membership. Visit us at clubgg.net. I'm on the draw in round 2. I have the Leyline, and I have Leyline Binding. Also a grip full of 6-drops. That might be a weakness of the deck. I was trying to make sure I always had a prime time, but might have gone too far. Maybe we don't need all 4 Gyrudas in the 75, or lower the curve somehow. We'll see. I don't know. We're 1 match in. A Forest, a Young Wolf. We're playing against Yawgmoth. Ooh. And I've got the combo. I'm going to play Wooded Foothills in case I want to Leyline Bind something this turn, rather than the Jetmir's Garden. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Do I need to fight over that yet? I don't think I'm worried about that right now. Scalding Tarn and Scion of Draco. With all the words attached on the house. Suddenly, this 1/1 attacker not looking too hot. Okay, no creatures in the graveyard for Soul Cauldron. I'm holding up instant speed, unconditional removal. Ren and 6. I could play that card and still have up Leyline Binding. I'll start by attacking. Oh wait, no, they have... Soul Cauldron can exile the land I would fetch for. Like, I can't pick up a fetch because Soul Cauldron is half of an unlicensed hearse. I'll just play my Jetmir's Garden and pass here. 4 mana, the magic number for Big Yogg. Shoulder the Apocalypse. Okay, that's not Big Yogg, but it's still worth a bind. They might have some Besajus in their deck, but if they want to ramp me to get their Shouldered back, deal. Heyo, okay. Haste isn't one of the words we get, I don't think. Yeah, First Strike is the red one. Okay, that's fine. Zap in Breeding Pool. Green, white, blue, red. I'll attack with my Scion. I am currently tapped out. I can Primetime next turn, and Valakuts are on. They have to kill me now, and Yawgmoth is tricky. I don't actually know if they can. The Soul Cauldron lines are weird. Like, if this Mortuary just spikes a Yogg and then their hand is something else. Okay. Milling Forest gives me some hope. Alright, Yogg's in. I don't think they could kill me from young one young wolf. Young one wolf. Wolf one young. Okay, I do believe they are dead here, though. If I fetch, that triggers both of the Omnaths, or both Omnath's abilities. Fetch. How much mana do I actually need this turn? I would end up with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is the number I want, so I need untapped lands here. Fetch. Stomping Ground. Yes. Get the mana. Play Primeval Titan, who's going to get 2 Valakuts. Each one sees the other. And Omnath also triggers, dealing 4 to my opponent, and then I could deal another 12 to my opponent. Yeah, I'm just ignoring all their creatures, going straight to the face. And that's enough. That was a good show of the deck. Okay, played against Yogg. Unlicensed Hearse, Curse Totem come in. Storm's Wrath is good here as well. I'm not high on Ren and 6 here. And I can pick off Mana Dorks. Maybe, like I was talking about, my 6s are a little heavy. Maybe I could board out a Gyruda. Fire Ice is good. Bowmaster can kill some of the Mana Dorks. Maybe Bowmaster is just bad in this slot. I thought it made sense, but if I'm boarding it out against the deck with Mana Dorks and a draw engine, what's it actually for? Maybe I actually want to leave a Ren and 6 in. I could cut the Gyrudas entirely, because this is a deck that can go off turn 4 or 5, and I'm a deck looking to go off on turn 6, and I'm boarding in a bunch of ways to slow that down. Yeah, I think I want to let this half of the deck do its thing. Let's go. Oh, this is funny. Which of my Gyrudas do I want to reveal? I'll pick the second one. Okay, another Leyline start. Kavu is worse than Scion, but I'm still happy to have it. And I have Fire Ice. One of my few ways to interact this early on the curve. Keep, jam the Leyline. They're leading on Twilight Mire. Barely even a land. Xander's Lounge has to go in here if I want to play Kavu next turn. I don't really have the option of holding up Leyline Binding. Thoughtseize. Alright, probably losing Kavu here would be my guess, unless they're planning for the long game already. Yep, Kavu's out. Ha 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 ha. Thoughtseize bug. That does mean I'm about to miss a land drop, though. I have Draw Step plus Kavu loot. I think there's 24 lands in this deck. Is that right? Yeah, 24. Drawn pretty heavy. Opponent played a Twilight Mire and passed. They also had a bit of a connection issue for a while there. You'll notice they have 16 minutes left on their clock right now. Missed on my land. I'm actually going to loot away a Primetime here. Even though I boarded out a bunch of functional Primetimes, you still have to play the game before you can do anything else. On the land, Unlicensed Hearse kind of rules. This exposes me harder to Force of Vigor, which is disappointing, but having this card in play is pretty good. What is this? You got an Endurance? Oh, Court of Calling for 0. Sure. All right. They did see the Fire Ice in my hand and then slide this Dried Arbor in a spot where I can't punish it. But I do have Fire Ice in my hand. If we get there, it's going to be powerful. And I have a card in play that it is difficult for them to win through on short notice. If they play Grist here and pick off my Kavu... Alright, nope. Just a big ol' Yogg. Is it safe to tap here, or can they kill me somehow? I think it's safe to tap. I'm just gonna control their graveyard, get my hearse bigger. Sometimes it's a creature. Okay, not a human. Protection from humans. Alright. I can loot away one of the Fire Ices here and try to do something. Discard a card if you do draw a card. I have high hopes for Omnath. Alright, now I have 2 of them. Leyline Binding, target the Yogg. I'm doing this first because if I target Dryad Arbor first, they can just sack it. Boseiju in response. Interesting. Okay, that solves the problem I was just talking about of now I don't have a window to kill the Dryad Arbor. That was good timing. I'll allow it. And if I fire Ice now, they still get to draw a card, but at least they don't have the extra mana on their turn. Yeah, I'm just going to fire. Go 1-1 here. It still pushes damage. They're at 6. They're at 5 if they sack it too. Okay, 3 cards in hand. Their Boseiju found me access to Omnath, which could go big next turn. The Hearse is chillin'. Pick your poison. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Okay, so I lose my Leyline here. That's fine. I still have Domain. End step, Hearse, the Arbor, and the Boseiju. Oh, baby. Let's go. Haven't actually seen if I could guess this card yet. I assume I can. Green, blue, white, red. Yeah, having 3 Triumphs in play is pretty cracked. Omnath. Land, gain 4. I'm going to fetch and play Wrenn 6 because that gives me a free discard to Territorial Kavu. And I think I should shock in Sacred Foundry here because one of the things I would like to cantrip into is Leyline Binding, at least give myself a chance to cast it. Getting back my Arid Mesa and go to combat. If they can flash in a creature, they can bounce off the Kavu. If they don't have a flash creature, though, they have to chump block here. Flash creature or removal spell. Oh, yeah. I love when Yawgmoth chumps. Get it out of here. Oh, no, there's more. Oh, yeah, like Orcish Bowmaster actually kills my Kavu here. Court of Calling. They didn't have the mana for that. Oh, Proliferate, right. Those are words on this card. Sure, these can bounce off each other at the cost of you discarding a card. Ooh, and a Boseiju from hand. All right. Exile. Oh, this actually deals 4 to them because it's my 3rd land. Okay, exile these 2 things. Boseiju happens. Yes. You go to 1, which means you can't activate Yogg anymore. Our creatures touch tips, and then you're dead on board to this Wrenn 6. Okay. I feel pretty good. But like I said, Yogg's tricky. I don't know what their deck's capable of. All right, cool. We did it. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the draw in round 3 against an opponent whose username is Turn 1 Blood Moon, which is something I don't want to play against in my deck. And I have played against them before, and they did actually Blood Moon me. Not on turn 1 because it's modern, but if I remember, they were on, like, Is It with some Blood Moons or something. But all that aside, I have Leyline, and I have another turn 2 Kavu. I'm only going to put 1 Leyline in because Kavu can loot away the other. And that's only a punish if they can destroy the first one. Valakut's in play. You see where this is going. I'm not going to lie, the opening sequences to this deck are a delight. Oh, this looks like Mill. Somebody stepped away from their Blood Moon roots. I'm going to play Arid Mesa and Territorial Kavu. There's also a Dimir control deck, I think, that has like Bowmasters and junk in it. Nope, just mill. Okay. Field of Ruin can take out a Valakut. I have plenty of lands to tutor with it. That does turn on Archive Trap. I'm not allowed to decline this. And it's important to remember that Gyruda can only pull from the cards that it mills on enters the battlefield. It's not a mill 4 then reanimate something. Oh, I don't have basic land. Shit, I forgot this is not Beseiju. It's literally basic lands. I have nothing for that. It's just strip mine. Whoops. I considered putting one mountain in the deck and then decided that's for cowards. And now I'm in trouble. Renin 6 at least is a card with words on it. I could get that Valakut back. Luckily that didn't get surgicaled. Yeah, I don't really have a plan for mill. Haven't seen this in a while. There's no Emrakul in my sideboard or anything. Oh, can't play it anyway. Cost 15. Ruin Crab. Aptly named, because it's about to ruin me. 3 of my 4 Leyline Bindings are gone. 2 of my Fire Ices are gone. Not a lot of action left here. A sudden appearance from Orcish Bowmaster. I'm going to get back Jetmir's Garden. Cycling that could be useful. Or I could just play Valakut. Yeah, I'm going to play Valakut. I hope they cast the Ancestral Recall spell, and I could kill this Ruin Crab. Yeah, Ancestral Recall spell. Hope they don't have a removal spell. Or a counter spell. Shit. Alright. Now I'm bummed they cast Ancestral Recall. Oh, this is so many crabs. And they have a Boro, so I'm not even... Alright. I actually can't win this game, and I'm going to stop showing them cards in my deck. Okay, what do I do against Mill? I have no plan for this whatsoever. I think I have to focus on zooing them out because the Valakut strat is going to be too slow, and by the time I do it, I might not even have enough mountains in my deck to do the thing. Chalice and Engineered Explosives are fine. Chalice on 1 affects them in some ways and affects me in no ways. Probably, once again, shaving Gyrudas, just because that's asking a lot of me. Terra Sunder at 4 mana can start killing crabs, and if they have stuff like ley lines or ensnaring bridges or that artifact that mills you when you untap that I can't remember right now, it's reasonable against all of those. I think I'm going to back off of Renin 6 to get room for that. Let's try it. I'll reveal one of my 4 companions again. Okay. I have lots of interaction. I do have to fetch to turn it on, though. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to grab Jetmir's Garden right now and hope that they don't Archive Trap me. Cool. We got away with it. That was the only fetch in my hand for now. Sheldock Isle. Kavu. It's a 4/4. I'll take that. Good start. This is the card in the deck that can win this game, if anything can. Grab, fetch. Hope there's no Fatal Push to follow it up. Yep, just snapping it off immediately. Shocking it in. We're in trouble, team. Yep, Fatal Push right away. Well, I have like all my Leyline Bindings here. I'm going to bind this crab before it gets me for any more. Yeah, not having a single basic against the Field of Ruin deck is pretty tough. I'm really good against Tasha's Hideous Laughter, though. Fractured Sanity, they milled me for 14. There's a bunch of cards now. Omnath, not even castable. I will put Gyruda in my hand here. I don't have black mana either. That just hasn't come together. Drawing 2 Valakuts. This is as good as last round was. This round is that bad. Oh, jeez. Field of Ruin off Ruin Crab. This is a bloodbath. I'll probably take one more draw step and then see if I want to keep playing. Because there, it just took me off 3 colors there. Cards left in my deck. 2 Kavus, 2 Omnaths, 1 Bowmaster, 4 Scions, or 3 Scions. Alright, I mean, could technically win, but it's not looking good. Scion costs 8 right now. Not close to casting a Leyline. Alright, they got me. I can't cast any of these spells, I'm never gonna. This was a horrendous matchup that I didn't plan for. I honestly don't feel bad that I didn't plan for it because it's so cringe and not really popular and not really good. But, I mean, if it gets you, it gets you. On to the next round. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. Second through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bizarre Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 Foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. I'm on the play in round 4. I have the Natural Domain. Savai Triome plus Breeding Pool gets me Territorial Kavu into Draco. They don't have all the words because they don't have the ley line, but they're still pretty big for what you paid for them. Opponent's on a Dastardly Mull of 5. See what that means. Are we Living End? Or what's going on here? Thoughtseize, bummer. Well, I have a 2-drop either way. They are probably going to take Kavu, would be my guess. Unless they have Fatal Push to follow up. Okay, they took Scion, which probably means they could just kill Kavu. Savai Triome plus Breeding Pool. All right, more Kavus. Keep them coming. Best card in the deck. What is this Thoughtseize deck that mulled to 5? Fatal Push, okay. And another Thoughtseize. No, my Kavu. Well, I still have turn 4 Omnath lined up, and they have to decide if they want to play the long game or not into this Omnath. Okay, I'm going to grab Gyruda here now that I have... Does that even make sense? Because if I play Valakut now, if the Omnath sticks on turn 5, I could play Fetch. I have 9 mana to Gyruda right away. Okay, never mind. This lines up well enough. I'm just going to leave Gyruda chilling. Urza's Saga. My Breeding Pool's already in play and everything else is a mountain, so I don't have to think about my fetches here. Just have to make sure I can cast Omnath. Red, blue, white, or red, green. Steam Vents gives me blue. White, green, red, blue. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get a Steam Vents. White, green, red, blue. Bowmasters, I'm just going to take a couple damage here, but that's okay. I'm not still huge. They're down to 1 card in hand. Okay, we might see our first Gyruda activation. It depends on them if they are uncool enough to kill my Omnath or not with their 2 cards. 1 card remains. Thoughtseize? Okay, they can have my Fire Ice. I'm going to Gyruda. Glad I didn't wish for it 2 turns ago, because they would have just stripped it. Okay. Wooded Foothills. Gain 4 life. Fetch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do actually need all of this, so I do have to shock this in. 5, 9. Yeah, it's exactly. Steam Vents. I would like to pay the life. Get 4 mana. Get Gyruda. And let's send it in. Come on, prime time. Let's go. Show them what's what. I hit a Bowmaster out of them or another Gyruda out of me. I'm going to take another spin on Gyruda. They do Legend Rule, but I get to go again. We're going again. There's a Shouldred in their graveyard. Hope I don't regret spinning here. Come on, Primetime. Where are you? There you are. Bang. I have 1, 2, 3 mountains. Okay, I'm not at where I want to be yet, but you do take 4. And I attack with Omnath. And then I'm in Valakut next turn, and Primetime is coming next turn. This Urza Saga better be really good. They could chump their whole board to deal with Omnath here. I can't imagine them ever winning a game where they trade their whole board here. Okay, they can't imagine winning a game at all. Nice! Gyruda finally showed up. And it did actually take 2 of the 3 that were in my deck to chain through until I found a Primetime. Boarding out the Gyrudas was a whole thing. Okay, we're getting some sort of black scam deck with Urza Saga. Like Engineered Explosives, we saw Grief and Dothy Voidwalker as we were flipping through the Gyrudas. We saw Shieldred. Terra Sunder can kill Urza Sagas. Bowmastering their Bowmaster is reasonable. I don't think I want this many Storm's Wrath. Maybe like 1. Yeah, the Fire Ice's Wrenn and 6s already are appealing here. They said they're 3-0 in this league and have to pair into whatever this is. Yeah, I mean, that's magic. I'm boarding out 1 Gyruda, and I do have to worry a little bit about Dothy Voidwalker plus Thoughtseize or Grief, because they can get my Primetime, and that's a difficult thing for me to answer. I don't think I actually want my Bowmasters. I'll chill without that. Maybe I don't want this Terrace Under. I just don't want to overboard here. I'll just bring in a little bit of everything. Reveal one of my 2 companions. That's my new favorite joke. It had not occurred to me that that's how the rules work. Keep, leyline them. I have the turn 2 Scion with all the words. They mull to 6. Urborg. Alright, now my things are swamps twice. Probably take Scion here, because it's going to be tough to beat if it resolves. Mono black not known for removing enchantments or hexproof creatures very well. Children's Edict would be required, I guess. Oh, they took Fire Ice. Fascinating. Okay, Stomping Ground tapped and pass. They must have some creature they think is worth staying in play for a long time, or they're going to discard me again and take the Scion this time. Pithing Needle. Naming Wrenn and 6. Okay. Okay. Zap and Breeding Pool. They'll need an Edict to deal with this thing. But they did Thoughtseize me and they didn't take it. They might very well have one, based on the information they've given me. Bunch of Sagas. If they Edict me, though, they don't get to activate Saga. Inquisition of Kozilek takes the card that they've already answered. Perfect. Omnath awaits his arrival. And they do have an Edict. Sure. Okay. That makes sense based on what they showed me with Thoughtseize. Valakut is my land for turn. That gives me Omnath next turn. Hiding this Gyruda. Maybe we'll see exactly the same game, this game that we saw last game, of Omnath into Fetch Shock Gyruda. They're going to get 2 constructs, maybe, out of these multiple Urza Sagas. That's good. A good deal for me. Oh, you're a rack deck. Cool. Okay. Currently not taking any damage. All right. Now they can grief my Omnath, and we're back in the rack, but they are Hellbent. And I have a card I can reach for from outside the game. I believe this is worth doing, even if they're a discard deck. Just gas up on cards. It's all good. They can't activate the Saga because they ran out of mana. They pitched Voidwalker to the Grief last turn. I'm racked again, but I do have 3 cards in hand. I take 0 from these racks. Kavu. Ah, that's interesting. That is bigger than their creature. Yeah, I'm going to make my land and play Kavu. Taking 2 from the rack is less than taking 4 from this construct. And if I can actually stuff it and then loot away this Leyline, cast Gyruda next turn, we're doing stuff for real. I take 2 from the rack. Primeval Titan. Ooh, all right. I'm going to attack, loot away the Leyline, and hope that we get somewhere with this. Discard Leyline. Drew a Leyline, sure. Okay. Looks like I'm taking 4 from their construct again, but now that I have prime time, the second I draw a land, I don't even have to mess around with Gyruda. I just grab 2 Valakuts and they're dead. I go to 7. Currently not in the rack. Come on, any land. We did it. Okay. Fetch this in, or play this, shock this in. They take 3, they're at 10. Then Primeval Titan is just GG. 3 upstairs. Primeval Titan. Get 2 more Valakuts. They all see each other. Light them up like a donkey. Hell yeah. Okay. On to the final round. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop. I'm on the draw in the final round. Positive record on the line. I'm going to keep my hand. It does not actually get Domain because Arid Mesa can't fetch Breeding Pool. And that was something I was aware of in deck building that just couldn't really solve for. I'm playing all the red fetches that can also get Breeding Pool already, and then you just had to pick some more. Looks like we're playing against Breach. If I draw Breeding Pool or anything that fetches it, I have a turn 2 Scion. That's Omnath. I'm still going to fetch the Savai Triome. It's possible I'll be able to Fire Ice this Dragon's Rage Channeler, and then Scion on turn 3. Cycled Street Wraith. Attack for 1. Play another Dragon's Rage Channeler. Oh, Asmo. Boo. Boo. I was so ready to fire them. Another Mountain, and there's the Cookbook. I have to hope this Surveil doesn't come up with a 3rd card type, because then Cookbook can give them a 4th card type at will, if they have one in their hand. Okay, looks like I will at least be able to remove the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Savai Triome. Leyline of the Guild Pact right on time. Shotgun Steam Vents, fire this thing while I still can. Now I gotta hope they don't have a Oval Chase Daredevil to get their food engine going, because the food engine is actually really good against my big stupid creature plan. Bummer. Had it immediately. Okay. Well, the first Scion is dead. I'm gonna have to get Leyline into play if I want to win this match, I think. Dashing a Rag over here. It's stripped of prime time. Alright, I didn't really want that right now anyway. It's all good. And they fetched a Stomping Ground and Shadow Spear. Alright, I'm under a lot of pressure here, and they can just pick off my creatures at will. Oh, that's actually huge. Okay, forget about Draco. This can kill Ragavan and present multiple blockers to eat Asmo damage. Shadow Spear is a little annoying, but they'll need a land to equip it. Or no, they have the treasure. But they didn't use it. Awesome. A Bowmaster. Kill Ragavan. Jump block Asmo. I'm going to fetch some forest. Probably Jetmir's Garden. Yeah, that's the one I can get here. I have Stomping Ground, but Jetmir's Garden is just that plus more. Haywire Might. Son of a biscuit. I was just about to talk about how resolving Leyline is step 1 to making this game work for me. Not anymore. If I draw a land, though, I can play 2 Scions. Alright. Interesting. I could also just shove Omnath, but I think I would rather shove Omnath in a situation where this Haywire Might suck so hard. Okay. I'm not going to attack with Bowmaster. If I play Omnath, they could kill it, but at least I draw a card. And if I Omnath into... Or they could kill all my things. I'm at 7. They attack for 3, 4, 5. I'm at 2. Oh, that's dangerous. All right, well, it is what it is. I didn't put a basic land in my deck. Green, blue, red. I can fetch basically anything here. I have 2 Triomes. I would like a mountain. What are my good draws? I can cast Gyruda if I ever get one. With the colors, I don't have the 6 yet, obviously. Fire, Ice, Leyline Binding. Okay, I probably want white. I have 2 white sources, though. Does this even matter? Am I working too hard? I'm gonna get a Steam Vents. A red. Nope, can't get red out of that one. White, blue, red, green. At least draw a card here. Yeah, they're immediately killing that. That's fine. We knew that was going to happen. I did find Leyline Binding. You're saying there's a chance they can make 2 more foods between here and their next combat phase, and then attack me to 2. Yeah, they are making the food right now. If they dash a Ragavan, they win. They did eat the Bowmaster and have a dashed Ragavan. All right, fine. Okay, I was dead even if they didn't have Haywire Might there. Okay, that was a showcase of what their deck can do with the best possible setup. Unlicensed Hearse, kind of relevant. Force of Vigor, very relevant. Storm's Wrath, relevant. Terra Sunder, relevant. Okay, once again, back off of Gyruda's. I think, yeah, like I said before, I think the curve should just be lower in general. And we probably don't need the full boat of Gyruda's around. Maybe Engineered Explosive should be in rather than Storm's Wrath. The Storm's Wrath also kills my creatures, which I'm not super into. Ren and 6 is kind of medium. Alright, sorry, Gyruda. You're chilling. I just have to get lower here. I guess another Ren and 6. I actually did like the Bowmasters challenging the Ragavan. That was big. Okay, let's go. Positive record on the line. Come on, deck. I will keep this. It has sideboard cards. It has Domain. I'm going to use the Arid Mesa to get the Savai Triome, because like we talked about, that's the fetch in the deck that doesn't get Breeding Pool. That's the only bad mapping on the fetches, but also we're a Domain Zoo deck that also needs a high density of mountains. Is what it is. Savai Triome. They've got a Ragavan. Can this Gruul deck handle a 5/5 this early in the game? I sure hope not. Bang. Big O. Underworld Cookbook. And the Daredevil. Alright, their engine's online. Hate it. And if they have Asmo, that means they'll have 2 cookbooks next turn, and they could kill a creature every turn instead of every other turn. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to hold this Force of Vigor to kill both cookbooks next turn. I could kill this cookbook and this food right now. That sets the clock back on it. I have to do it now. I can't even do it next turn, because if we get to their upkeep, it's too late. and they can make the second food, and then Ragavan's hitting me. Yeah, I think I need this Territorial Kavu in play for another turn. Okay, now I don't, but good to have you around anyway. Now I can answer Ragavan cleanly. I'm not under any immediate pressure. If I knew I was drawing Bowmaster, maybe I don't force a Vigor there, but obviously you don't know until it's there. Pithing Needle. Okay. Hope they name Wrenn and 6 and not Scalding Tarn. They haven't seen my hand. Alright, Besage Huondors, not a card that I play. Maybe it should be, but it's not. Bowmaster, get in, pick off the Rag. I'm going to have Omnath and Territorial Kavu pressuring this Asmo, who can only make one food a turn. I should have played Omnath pre-combat, so I have more decisions with my loot. I'm still going to loot away the Jetmir's Garden. Ooh, Rekavu. Omnath is still the one, though. Red, white, blue, or green. Steam Vents, I think, or like I learned last game, white is one of my more important colors. Red, black's not one of them. White's already covered. I actually can't fetch a Sacred Foundry here and cast Omnath. I need a blue or green source. Blue, green, red, white. Okay, yeah, Steam Vents is the one. Omnath's in. And I drew a fetch land. They're definitely going to kill Omnath with their foods, though. And just let Territorial Kavu continue riding. Ooh, Inti, Essential of the Sun. Whenever you discard one or more cards, exile the top card of your library, you could play it this turn. They flipped a Cookbook, and they can play that. Great. Just the nuts. Just the nuts. It's fine. It's fine. I hate Magic the Gathering. That was a 2-outer. There's close to 0 cards in their deck that matter in this spot, and that's the best one. All good. All good. I'm cool. I'm cool. Just a positive record on the line. Well, they left me with Omnath. That's interesting. Over the Kavu. They flipped an Asmo that time. That's fine. That card sucks. All right, Omnath. Give them the business. Let's friggin' Gyruda here. I gain 4 life. I fetch. Steam Vents seems as good as anything. Nope, Sacred Foundry now. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, 9 in the pool. Gyruda. Come on, Primeval Titan. Let's get him. Primeval Titan on the first hit. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not enough mountains. But I will get 2 more mountains. Xander's Lounge and Stomping Ground. And opponent takes a bunch of damage from that. And I'll attack with Omnath, who they probably don't want to go to 3 against. Except that they do. Okay, cool. They are dead to my next mountain that I play. And I have Wrenn and 6 in my hand. Just gotta hope they don't combo kill me somehow here. Flip to Bauble. I have many 6/6s, plus chump blockers. They flipped a Lightning Bolt. Okay, they flipped this Asmo in their last end step, which means they can cast it now and get another Cookbook. Okay. These books are cooked. They could kill off 2 of my giant creatures here. It is funny that Omnath curves perfectly into Gyruda. Like, the mana is exactly the 9 you need to do that. Just good deck building. Completely on purpose. Completely considered that would work out perfectly like that when I put these 2 cards in the deck together. Primetime's dead. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Mishra's Bauble. This surveils. They have 2 Lightning Bolts in exile now. I'm worried about Graveyard Hate that would block my Wrenn and 6. But I'm not worried about much else other than that. Bowmaster's dead. They draw for Bauble. I draw for turn. Just naturally drew a mountain anyway. I'll gain 4 life with Omnath, and then I'll light them up. There is a mountain left in my deck. I would not like to pay 2 life. I would like to deal 3 to my opponent. Cool. The Gyruda. Actually relevant in that game. I didn't bring in my hearses, and I'm still not sure it's right. It's good against exactly that stupid Oval Chase Daredevil and no other cards, as far as I can tell. Now that I know they're an Inti deck, I think Storm's Wrath might be better than I originally gave it credit for. Am I going 0 Wrenn and 6 here? Do you ever board out a Leyline of the Guild Pact? Leyline pitches to Force of Vigor, though, which makes it good. If I'm cutting Wrenn and 6s, I'm not going to shave a land, that's for sure. Okay, I'm off it. Same deck. Let's go. I'm looking for Leyline Draco here. Their deck does seem to struggle with that. Reveal the first Gyruda. Oof. Is this my first mulligan of the whole league? I'm not keeping this hand. Mulligan. I will keep this hand and bottom Primeval Titan. Or is it Scion? No, it's Primeval Titan. They're both difficult to cast, given my configuration. Please don't turn one Ragavan. Okay, not a Ragavan. We're fine. We're fine. Mox Amber. Spooky. Do have a lot of legends in their deck. There's the breeding pool. I have Domain now, which means I'm getting Savai Triome with this Arid Mesa, and hoping that there are things worth Bowmastering when we get there. Saga. Inti, which turns on Mox Amber. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. Oh god, it puts a +1 counter on the attacking creature. Alright, Bowmaster just doesn't matter ever. Good news, everyone. And they flip Mishra's Bauble, also getting paid off the flip. Yikes, the engine's online. They should bobble me now. I would love if they bobbled on my turn. That would actually let Bowmaster kill Inti. Nope. Too smart. Maybe I just put the 4/4 into play, if this is how the game's going. Cookbook, with one card left in hand. Yep, Savai Triome. Street Wraith flips a card with Inti. Flipped another Cookbook. This Inti is nuts. Yeah, I think I just put my 4/4 into play, and then next turn I can Bowmaster plus Leyline Bind. Or no, I can't. I would need to draw a white or black source to do that. God, they have the Daredevil every goddamn time. Oh! There's 4 of those. They've started every game with it in their hand. Alright, fine. Your engine's fully nuts. Whatever. Okay, I'm looking for a Engineered Explosives here. Cookbook from Exile. Yeah, this is just a whole ass draw engine. They must have found the Daredevil off of the Bauble trigger because they discarded Shadow Spear last turn to Inti. Alright, yeah, the draw engine is online. 3 cookbooks, they're just drawing 3 cards, or 4 cards a turn. Plus whatever value that creates off of Dragon's Rage Chandler, plus they get a food for every one of them. 3 cards in hand. No Asmo yet. Shinka, this gives a legend first strike. Ragavan, okay. Well, they don't have attacks somehow after all of that. Now I could get Xander's Lounge into play now, and that leaves Bowmaster or Leyline Binding available. Yeah, I'm going to play the Lounge. Pretty underwhelming. Definitely wish I had some Storm's Wraths in the deck right now. This Ursus Saga will create Delirium. It's an enchantment where they didn't have one. And now they're just flipping cards like crazy. Another Saga. There's the Asmo. Now we're fucked. All of these foods become removal spells forever. Alright. I can't actually win this. I guess I can give it a second. Like, what am I playing to here? I don't have a Storm's Wrath in. Yeah, all these. I didn't see the deck do this in the first 2 games, and I've never seen this deck before, so I can't spike a Storm's Wrath, and Engineered Explosives kills Mox, Amber, all their foods, and Asmo, but then all their creatures are still here, or I could do that for 1. Oh, they could just mow down all the Bowmasters in combat too. Yeah, all right. They got me. They got me. Couldn't stop the engine. Not sure if I sideboarded correctly, but okay. This deck was a lot of fun. I think the raw concept is actually kind of defensible. The deck is way too top heavy. When I was building, I actually had a build with some Farseeks in the deck. Just on 2, you can jump up to 4. That helps you get to Primetime and Gyruda faster, and turn 3 Omnaths. Maybe you need to focus on the ramp side of the deck a little more than I did. I think 4 is too many Gyrudas. There was the one game where you had to chain 3 Gyrudas together to find a Primetime, which is important if your goal is to hit Primetime on every Gyruda, which is obviously the nuts, but if we have solid creatures like Omnath, Kavu, and Draco in the deck, just, is 10 power good enough? And then sometimes we go nuts? Maybe. I don't think Bowmasters held their slot, and I think these Gyrudas are too many. I would turn 2 Gyrudas and the 2 Bowmasters into 4 Farseeks, and just start there. I think that already improves the deck a lot. You might want 1 basic land in here, but the mana's asking a lot of you. I mentioned Boseiju as a card that would be interesting in my Ren and 6 deck, but also that card is bad if you don't have a Leyline of the Guild Pact in play for all your other cards. I just went with the simplest version of just like 4s of all the obvious cards and try to send it. And from here, it's tuning risk versus reward of what if sometimes we miss on prime time? What if sometimes we don't have domain on turn 2? What if sometimes Valakut's not online? And then balancing like how much of a normal deck can you build? And the more normal your deck is, the more you rely on Leyline. But Leyline's also castable in the deck if we can get to spots where like Farseek cast it on 3 and then go off later. This was a lot of fun, and I think the overall shell is pretty successful. Just tune if you want to work on this, and I mean, let me know how it goes. Pup, thank you for this challenge. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you for the next one.